Dr. Eleanor Reynolds, a renowned physicist, had a penchant for the peculiar. Her colleagues often marveled at her ability to find fascination in the most mundane of details, turning them into groundbreaking discoveries. She was known for her relentless curiosity and her unyielding quest for knowledge, traits that had earned her numerous accolades in the scientific community. So, when a package arrived on her doorstep, containing a tarnished silver pocket watch and a cryptic note simply stating "Time waits for no one," her curiosity was piqued. The package was unmarked, with no return address, adding to the mystery. Eleanor couldn't help but wonder who had sent it and why. The note, written in an elegant, almost archaic script, seemed to carry a weight of its own, as if it were a message from another era. The watch, cold to the touch, felt strangely familiar, as if an echo from a forgotten dream. Eleanor's fingers traced the contours of the watch, feeling the chill of the metal seep into her skin. It was as though the watch had a life of its own, a silent witness to the passage of time. She couldn't shake the feeling that she had seen it before, perhaps in a dream or a distant memory. Its intricate engravings whispered tales of forgotten ages, drawing her in. The delicate patterns seemed to dance under the light, revealing scenes of ancient civilizations and long-lost legends. Each engraving told a story, a fragment of history etched into the metal. Eleanor found herself mesmerized, unable to look away. The craftsmanship was exquisite, a testament to the skill of its maker. Eleanor, a woman of logic and reason, scoffed at the superstitious whispers in her mind. She prided herself on her rationality, her ability to separate fact from fiction. Yet there was something about the watch that defied explanation. It was as if it were challenging her beliefs, daring her to consider the impossible. She shook her head, trying to dispel the irrational thoughts that threatened to take hold. Yet, as she wound the watch, a soft click resonated with an unnerving finality. The sound echoed in the quiet room, a reminder of the inexorable march of time. Eleanor felt a sense of foreboding, as if she had just set something in motion that could not be undone. The watch seemed to hum with energy, its mechanisms coming to life under her touch. The hands began to move, but instead of telling time, they began a countdown. 12 hours. The realization hit her like a jolt. This was no ordinary watch. It was a timer, counting down to an unknown event. Eleanor's mind raced with possibilities. What could it mean? What would happen when the countdown reached 0? The questions swirled in her mind, each more unsettling than the last. 12 hours till what? She didn't know, but a shiver ran down her spine. The uncertainty gnawed at her, a constant reminder of the unknown. She felt a sense of urgency, a need to uncover the truth before time ran out. The watch had become a puzzle, one that she was determined to solve. As the seconds ticked away, Eleanor knew that her life was about to change in ways she could never have imagined. The countdown became an obsession. Every tick resonated in Eleanor's bones, a constant reminder of the unknown that lurked just ahead. Her colleagues, initially amused by her preoccupation with the antique timepiece, grew concerned as her usually vibrant demeanor turned into nervous energy. Sleep offered no escape. Nightmares plagued her, filled with swirling clocks and distorted faces. The countdown echoed in her dreams, each tick pulling her closer to an abyss of uncertainty. The world dissolved into a blinding white light, an overwhelming brilliance that seemed to erase everything in its path. It was as if reality itself was being rewritten, every atom and molecule disintegrating into pure energy. As the watch struck 0, the finality of the moment was palpable. Time, in its relentless march, had reached a point of no return. A wave of disorientation washed over her, a sense of falling through an endless void. It was as if gravity had lost its grip, leaving her suspended in a state of limbo. Then nothing, a void, an emptiness that seemed to stretch on forever. When Eleanor opened her eyes, everything seemed normal. The familiar surroundings of her bedroom greeted her, the soft morning light filtering through the curtains. It was as if the world had been untouched by the chaos she had just experienced. The clock on her wall blinked 12:01 a.m., its digital display casting a faint glow in the dim room. The seconds ticked by, each one a reminder of the passage of time, the date the same as before. It was as if the events of the past day had been erased, leaving no trace behind. The calendar showed the same date, mocking her with its unchanging certainty. Had it all been a dream? A hallucination brought on by stress? Eleanor's mind raced, trying to make sense of the impossible. The memories were vivid, too real to dismiss as mere figments of her imagination. But then she noticed it, the weight of the silver watch in her pocket. It was a tangible reminder of the surreal experience she had just endured. It felt warm now, almost alive. The watch seemed to pulse with a faint glow, as if it held within it the secrets of time itself, and the countdown had reset 24 hours. The numbers on the watch's face were clear, unyielding. It was a stark reminder that time was not as linear as she had always believed. The chilling realization hit her. The world had reset, and she was the only one who remembered. The weight of this knowledge pressed down on her, a burden she was unsure how to bear. What did this mean for her, for the world? The questions swirled in her mind, unanswered and haunting. Days turned into weeks. Each 24-hour cycle a torturous repetition of the same events, the same conversations, the same fear gnawing at her sanity. The world around her was a broken record, and she was the only one aware of the jarring skips. Her attempts to confide in others were met with concern and eventually dismissal. Each reset brought a fresh wave of terror, but also a glimmer of hope. Perhaps if she could understand the watch's mechanism, the trigger, she could break free from this prison of time. Section 5. Desperate measures. Eleanor delved into her research with a renewed frenzy. Ancient texts, forgotten languages, quantum physics. No avenue remained unexplored. Sleep became a luxury she could no longer afford. The countdown was a relentless taskmaster, pushing her to the brink of exhaustion. She experimented with the watch, varying her location, her actions, even attempting to destroy it, all to no avail. The countdown continued, indifferent to her struggles. Section 6. The Watchmaker's Secret. Exhausted and on the verge of despair, Eleanor stumbled upon a hidden inscription within the watch's casing, a name, Elias Thorne. Her research led her to dusty archives and forgotten journals, revealing the story of a 19th-century clockmaker obsessed with controlling time. Thorne believed that time was not linear but cyclical, and he sought to build a device to manipulate its very fabric. Could this watch be Thorne's creation? Was she trapped in his twisted experiment? We're Section 7, Breaking the Cycle. Following Thorne's cryptic notes, Eleanor realized the key to breaking the loop lay not in stopping the countdown, but in understanding its rhythm. The watch wasn't resetting time, it was synchronizing her consciousness with a parallel timeline at the point of convergence. She needed to disrupt that synchronization. With each loop she tested her theories, making subtle changes to her actions, her decisions, trying to create a ripple effect that would disrupt the temporal alignment. Section 8. A Choice to Make. The moment of truth arrived. As the countdown neared zero, Eleanor found herself standing at a crossroads. She could step back, allow the reset to occur, and retain her memories, condemned to repeat the loop. Or she could take a leap of faith, trust her calculations, and hope to break free. Her hand trembled as she reached for the watch. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about freeing the world from a cycle it didn't even know it was trapped in. Section 9. The Weight of Time. Time, an ever-flowing river, carries with it the weight of countless moments, memories, and experiences. It is both a relentless force and a gentle guide, shaping our lives in ways we often fail to comprehend. The world dissolved into white once more, but this time there was a difference. The light was not blinding, but rather it was inviting, almost as if it was beckoning her to step forward into a new reality. Instead of the jarring disorientation, there was a sense of movement, of transition. It felt like being gently carried by a current, moving seamlessly from one state of being to another. The sensation was both comforting and exhilarating. When she opened her eyes, the world was still familiar, yet different. The colors seemed more vibrant, the air felt fresher, and there was a subtle shift in the energy around her. It was as if she had stepped into a parallel universe, one that was almost identical to her own, but with slight, almost imperceptible differences. The air hummed with a newfound vibrancy. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been infused with a magical energy, a force that was both ancient and new. She could feel it in her bones, a tingling sensation that made her feel more alive than ever before. The watch lay open beside her, its countdown frozen, its power spent. The loop was broken, the relentless ticking that had once governed her existence was now silent, and with it the weight of countless timelines lifted from her shoulders. The weight of countless timelines lifted from her shoulders. She felt lighter, freer, as if a great burden had been lifted. The chains that had once bound her to an endless cycle of repetition were now broken, and she was free to forge her own path. As the sun rose, painting the sky in hues of hope, Eleanor knew that some burdens, though heavy, are worth bearing. The dawn of a new day brought with it the promise of new beginnings, and she was ready to embrace whatever the future held. For she had stared into the abyss of time and emerged victorious, forever changed by the encounter. She had faced her fears, confronted the unknown, and come out stronger on the other side. The journey had been long and arduous, but it had also been transformative, and she was now ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with newfound strength and determination.